The room felt frozen before anyone spoke. On the evening of January 5th, 2026, at exactly 7:00 p.m. in Beijing, a press hall packed with reporters sat under harsh lights while hundreds of cameras aimed forward, red recording dots blinking like alarms. Zhu Yiwei and Bai Xin sat side by side behind a long table, microphones lined up in front of them. Their faces were calm, but the seriousness was impossible to miss. There would be no spokesperson tonight, no moderator smoothing their answers. They had insisted on speaking for themselves. Zhu Yiwei finally broke the silence, staring straight into the lenses. He said he knew everyone in the room and everyone watching online wanted one clear answer, so he would start with what mattered most. The dating rumors that surfaced 3 months after they first met were not true at that time. A ripple of whispers moved through the crowd. Bai Xin followed immediately, her voice steady. When they met, they were not a couple. They were colleagues, basically strangers learning how to work together. What people believed back then was wrong, and that's why they denied it. Then she paused and added that it was only the beginning of the story. Zhu Yiwei leaned forward, hands clasped, explaining they first met during early script readings for Flash Marriage to the Cold Pilot. At that stage, there was no secret romance and no hidden feelings, just work. Those early rumors hurt because they twisted something simple into something ugly. Bai Xin reminded everyone how sets actually function. Endless hours, rehearsals that stretch into morning, conversations about characters instead of emotions. Back then, what they shared was pressure, not love. But she said, feelings don't follow schedules or ask permission. Zhu Yiwei slowed down, describing how things shifted after filming began, not in one dramatic moment, but in small pieces. Exhaustion shared between takes, quiet talks, the line between their roles and their real selves thinning. By the time filming ended, he said, the rumors were still wrong, but the truth was changing. Bai Xin said they didn't fall in love on day one, and they didn't fall in love because of headlines. It happened later, after the work was done, when there were no cameras and no script telling them what to feel. Then she said it clearly. After Flash Marriage to the Cold Pilot, they became a couple. The room erupted, but Zhu Yiwei lifted a hand for quiet. They hadn't announced it, he said, not out of shame or deception, but because they wanted something that belonged to them, not to rumors. Bai Xin added that under constant observation, love becomes fragile, so they protected it. When asked why they kept denying rumors even after becoming a couple, Zhu Yiwei answered without hesitation. Not every truth is owed to the public the moment it exists. They denied what was inaccurate, exaggerated, or harmful, and they didn't confirm what they weren't ready to share. Bai Xin said silence is not always a lie, sometimes it's survival. Then came the reason they were really there. Zhu Yiwei said the rumors had reached a point where silence was no longer protection, it had become distortion. And because their lives were about to change, Bai Xin looked into the cameras and revealed they were getting married next month. It wouldn't be public, there would be no broadcasts and no spectacle. Their families had known long before anyone else, and they cared about one thing, whether they were happy. As the conference ended, Zhu Yiwei stood and bowed, saying honesty now was better than silence later. Bai Xin nodded, repeating that they didn't fall in love for headlines. They were speaking because the truth was finally ready. They left together quietly, and what started as a rumor control press conference turned into something bigger. Proof that love doesn't always begin when the world thinks it does, and truth doesn't arrive on demand.